Hello, welcome to episode 38 of your online strength coach podcast. Peaking for powerlifting meets and using a belt. Hello and welcome to what should have been episode 39 but is in fact episode 38. I had recorded a 30-minute podcast in response to one of the questions, they're very non-specific, the question asked by PL 700 about how far someone could go in lifting, and they only saved 9 minutes. And I closed down Audacity without backing up the audio file. Just a terrible sequence of coincidence, but that everything past that first 9 minutes is now lost to mankind, so I'll have to redo that episode. So I am now going. So that's somewhat annoying, to say the least, but it's kind of part and parcel of this thing. These things happen. When I used to do the health and fitness podcast with Ben, our PB machine, which hopefully we'll take up again at some stage, I've lost a few hour-plus episodes with two people, which is even more galling. Because you can only get your schedules together every now and again, so we could only realistically could only do it like once a week at best, maybe once a fortnight. So that was pretty annoying. So I'm kind of used to it, unfortunately. But yeah, 30 minutes of work gone. But that's the way the world works. This is under episode 37, asked by MFCRR. Not sure if you have covered this or not, but how would one peak for one's first powerlift, the PL, squat, bench, deadlift meet, and how should one implement belt training? Have used the belt, but it feels awkward. Thanks. Keep up the vids. Yeah, so for your first meet, to be quite honest, there really isn't. I don't feel there's any real need or any real requirement to peak for it, because you're not really trying to push your physical performance for the meet. I know you'll want to do well, and everyone wants to do well for the first powerlifting meet. But the first powerlifting meet is about the experience. It's about actually just going there, weighing in, traveling to the venue, getting there on time, weighing in, making your weight, and getting used to the surroundings, get used to the judges, the referees, get used to the table. Definitely would be a great idea to bring someone with you. We'll try and make this more about the training and less about the experience, but I kind of need to get this preamble out the way to so you can see where I'm coming from. Get used to the environment, talk to the lifters, soak up the environment, get to know some people. A lot of powerlifters might not have talked. Quite a lot of people might be fairly insular, might just go into the gym, train, not talk to anybody, do their own thing and bugger off. Maybe they spend a lot of time on the internet, watching videos, listening to podcasts, reading articles, kind of immerse themselves in the environment online, but not really getting into the environment in person. So it might be the first time you've ever come across a lot of like-minded individuals in one place, so it's good to enjoy that, talk to people, get to know people. These are people you're going to see a lot if you compete regularly within the same place. So if you compete locally, you're going to see a lot of these people. So it's good to do that. And then as far as the actual meet itself, it's about warming up towards your weight, going out in the platform, doing the weight on the platform, getting your attempt card in for the next lift, getting ready, the mental preparation, being in that environment. So it's much more important to go 9 for 9 on the day, much more important, and to enjoy yourself than it is to actually lift personal bests for your first powerlifting meet. What you lift is pretty much irrelevant, to be honest. And I would do the same if I was coaching any lifter towards their first meet. They would probably lift loads that they could do for reps. Let's say, for example, let's actually cover maybe a bit of training that you might do towards the meet. Let's say the meet's in 6 weeks' time. You have in your head some numbers you'd like to hit. Let's say you'd like to hit a 140 squat, you'd like to hit a 90 kilo bench press, you'd like to hit a 160 kilo deadlift. Currently, you're doing sets of 5 at like 120 in the squat. You're doing sets of 5 at like 80 in the bench press, and you're doing sets of 5 at, let's say, 145, 150 in the deadlift. So you can definitely make these lifts. So a fairly easy cycle you can do. You can do 3 times a week. You squat twice, bench 3 times, deadlift once. You deadlift on workout C or 3. I don't know why I put in C. Deadlift on workout 3. You bench workout 1, 2, and 3. You squat workout 1, 2. You basically go so the target's 140. You go over a 5-week process. You do 6 sets of 6 at 70% week 1, 5 sets of 5 week 2 at 75%, and 5 sets of 4 at 80% on week 3, week 4, 5 sets of 3 at 85%, and then week 5, the week before the meet, 5 sets of 2 at 90% of your target, and then on the first workout, workout 1 of week 6, which is meet week, you do your openers for 2 sets of 1 to commands. On squat and on bench, you don't. In fact, since it's your first meet, you probably want to do it on deadlift as well. But you'll do your deadlift 2 commands on the last workout 3 of week 5, and then you go and you do your meet. So that's an example of like a peaking cycle you could use. Basically, you want to start with a higher volume of work at a very submaximal percentage. You probably want to keep your frequency at about 3 as a beginner. You want to just stick to the compound movements. You can probably chuck in a little bit of stick to the competitive lifts. You can always do a bit of assistance as well, but your focus of your workout should definitely be on the 3 competitive lifts. And you should do everything to competition standards. So on your squat, make sure you bury it past what's required, far past what's required. Don't be squatting around parallel, slightly below parallel. Leave absolutely no doubt in your squat depth. Bury it. You can start working with optimizing depth levels later on when you're more experienced. Just to guarantee the fact you're going to get through 3 whites, you bury your squats in training. For your bench press, if you compete in the IPF, make sure you keep your feet flat on the floor, arse on the bench, shoulders in contact with the bench, keep your head down, don't move your head around when you're benching, and pause every rep, probably for about 1 to 2 seconds on the chest for the bench press, just to make sure that you just got that ingrained for like 5 weeks before you go into the meet. And you do that. And for deadlift, don't use straps, don't hitch it, come to a complete lockout on every rep. Put it down every rep, don't drop it, let go of it, keep your hands on it, put it down, because that's what you're going to require to do in a comp. So make sure every rep, every lift that you do during that kind of 6-week build-up is done to competition standard. That's probably more essential than the actual training that you're doing. And then for using the belt, how do you implement belt training? If you're not used to using the belt, it's a good idea just to chuck it in and get used to it. So let's say, for example, during that phase of training that we just talked about, you want to get used to the belt for your meet. For the first week, 6 sets of 6 on squat and deadlift, I'd probably use it for the last set of 6. For the second week, when you're doing squat and deadlift, when you do the 5 sets of 5, I'd probably use it for the last 2 sets of 5. I think you probably know where I'm going with this. On week 3, when you're doing 5 sets of 4, use it for the last 3 sets. When you get to the 5 sets of 3, use it for the last 4 sets. And when you get to 5 sets of 2, use it for all sets. And that'll just give you time to kind of get used to the idea of using the belt, what it feels like. Because the belt's fairly uncomfortable, it's kind of scary, it's kind of awkward when you first use it. So if you implement it, you'll use it for 3 sets week 1, 6 sets week 9 sets week 3, so on and so forth until you're using it for all your working sets, and you'll be happy with it then. Don't change your percentages. You will lift more with the belt. So if that 140, 160 squat and deadlift are difficult without the belt, they'll be piss easy with the belt when you're used to it. It's fine. Leave it like that. You want to make 9 out of 9. That's the number one component of your preparation. And then when you've done all of that, you need to make sure, come meet day, you know your attempts. So you're going for 140 squats, so you're going to open on 100. You're going to go 120 for the second, and you go 140 for your third and final attempt. You know that for a fact. You're not going to deviate from that. You're going to do it. You make all three. Bench press, you're going for 90. You're going to go 80, 85, 90. You're not going to deviate from that. That's the plan. That's what you're doing. And then for deadlift, you're going 160. You're going to go 140, 150, 160. You're not deviating from that. That's exactly what you're doing. Make sure you have your warm-ups planned out. Write them out. Do that exact warm-up. Make sure everything on the day is just planned and you do exactly as written. And you're going to have a good meet. You're going to have a good time. You're going to enjoy it. The last thing you want to do is bomb when you first meet. No one should ever do that. That is a fucking terrible thing to do. Okay, so hopefully that's answered your question, and hope you enjoy the podcast. Like, subscribe, share with your mates. Any questions, leave them below in the comments section. Send an email to speedpowerperformance@gmail.com for any questions, queries, you'd like to talk about anything, want to get some programs, some coaching, whatever, hit me up, I'm on there. Come visit the website, castironstrength.com. Come check out the shell, the website, strengthcoach.com. I'm going to do some more work on that, so it'll hopefully be more of a shell. So this is episode 38. I'll try to re-record that today, probably later on tonight. That's enough for just now. This is Mark, signing out. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.